Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, February 8th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWMN, triple Qs, and really nice finish on the day for the bulls, as initially in SPY, ES, Qs, and NQ came out of an inside day to the downside. Got no traction whatsoever. Spent 3 time frames trying to figure out what they wanted to do until they exploded and went trend up. We go out with a double distribution day in all 3 of these indices. We go out with price probes to the upside in all 3 of these indices, and we just missed an outside day up in SPY. Yesterday's high is 450.99. We closed at 450.94. What's really impressive, we started with lower value, went overlapping to lower, went unchanged, and closed with overlapping to higher value. We raised POC about $3. We raised volume POC by a lot. Had an awesome trade on the afternoon pullback low, which is one of my favorites, although it spent a little more time there than I liked, which probably cost me some money as I got out of it. But a very good day overall. Again, a lot of small trades early. B period. I took a short when we had the inside day down. Not initially. Came back, took it. We were hanging around M's low, 447 puts. Wasn't acting great. Took them off for some money. C period, I actually took a short when we were getting towards the POC. And amazingly, I did okay on shorts on a lot of these, even though I was fading a trend day at times, but it was at very visual areas. So I did the 450 puts in C, I got paid on. Then in D, I was looking for longs. I got one, the 447s against the single print calls. Then when we got up higher against the 50-day moving average, I took a put play the first time in D, 451s. Now, I didn't do anything in E. We were grinding higher. I did not expect us to take out yesterday's high right away. I thought they would do that later in the day. Now, obviously, that wasn't true because we took it out in G. But when F got high, I took the biggest trade of the day to that point, a 25 lot, 452s. And it was against value high from yesterday and below yesterday's high. And it came in pretty nice. So I did very well on that. All those other shorts I took were really small. I was playing 3s and 5s and 10s. Nothing big. Then in G period, I took a short against yesterday's high. Again, didn't get a lot of traction above it. Came back in. Made money on those 452s. Then my best trade of the day by far. I said I was looking for longs. I had a very small one in I. I'm like, well, I don't know if they're going to take out H's low. Took a long in I. In fact, I did that a couple of times where they paid me, went right back up. But J period. Started a small long when we took out H's low. Again, like a 5 lot. Then as we came in, I said I want to get bigger inside of D. So I went 5, I went 10. I think I went another 10. And then I bought a 100 right in the middle of D single prints. And as soon as I bought those, we basically immediately started going back up. In fact, I'm trying to think if we turned over to K yet at that point. I don't think we did, but it immediately went up. Took off a bunch of them, came back in, put like 40 more back on. I did that a couple of times in J and K, and then I had 15 left. And actually, when I put the 100 on here, took most of those off when it went up. And then in K, when we got down to, wasn't half back at the time, but when we filled C singles, I added a 40 lot. And those went back up. And I only had 15 left as we came back down in K. I'm like, afternoon pullback, this shouldn't be sitting down here so long. So I ended up taking those off for small on the 15, but had an excellent trade. I mean, I recycled probably about 170 calls. I was long 130 at one point. Now, L did take out K's load. Now, at the time, value low was around A's high. I said, if we fill this last set, I'll take one more long. Not huge, though, at value low. Never happened. And then look, it did basically what I expected it to do, but it just took a little longer. We call this market to a T. Yes, we took out the day's high in G, but not by a lot, and it came back in. And then I said, if we're going to go and try to probe and maybe have an outside day up, you know it's going to happen late in the day. And guess what? L went all the way back up and probed, but we just missed the outside day up. So we nailed the day both in trading and in calling it. As far as destinations, upside, today's high at 451.92. Then we have the two daily highs. That's right around the top of our 4-day balance high, 452.78. And then daily high 452.97. And then filling that small gap at 453.05 from February 3rd. And then if we get acceptance above the 4-day balance high, you'd have 458.12, which is a weekly high. And I'll show you that when we get to the chart because it's pretty important. On the downside, we have the price probe. G's high at 451.27, 448.08, L's low afternoon pullback. That's a textbook against the single prints. And then the single prints, 447.86, get filled at 47, A's high from today, and 445.22 daily low. I'm not counting M's. 8 wide. Again, I like 9 wide or more. I will not ignore it. And the reason I really won't ignore it is because if we get down there tomorrow morning, now let's get to the charts and I'm going to show you, we're going to be right around the 20-day moving average. It closed at 449.89. So M's low is 450.01. So when we open up tomorrow, if we get anywhere near M's low, it'll be against the 20. And today, for a while, it looked like we might close below the 20 for the 4th day in a row. Today, we closed above it. But the bottom line is this. Monthly's down, weekly's balance, daily is a 4-day balance. Now, we attempted to come out of the inside day to the downside, failed. Inside day up didn't do much either. Now, here's what I'm talking about this weekly high. Since our all-time high on January 4th, we've made lower highs. January 4th, January 12th, and February 2nd. So not only do we need to get above the 4-day balance high, we need acceptance, and then we need to take out this weekly high. And why do I think that's important? Because if we can't get above this balance high, or we get above it and stretch it slightly, but never take out this weekly high, well then again, the lower highs is going to continue. So if we ever have a chance of getting back to highs, we got to stop that. So first things first, we want to take this weekly high out at some point. Right? Now we've also had higher lows, and that's what balance is about. If you were to put a trend line from the all-time high to here, and from the 24th low to here, we're in a nice little tight thing. Which way are we going to break out of it? Well, whichever way we break out of it should tell us if it's to the upside, we're going to stop the lower highs. If it's to the downside, we're going to stop the higher lows. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel. Come check us out at CamelbackTrading.org. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.